very glad to have this opportunity to honor Elsie Kawulych for this very, very auspicious national award. We feel we have a special relationship with Elsie, as she is one of the Kule Folklore Centre's longtime donors. Elsie was born into the family of John and Helen Kubrak, Ukrainian immigrants who came to Canada in search of a better life for themselves and for their children. Her family worked very hard to establish themselves, and they did have good success. Still, Elsie had many barriers that she had to overcome in her youth, challenges that young Ukrainian women often faced. We just heard a story about her getting her driver's license, and that's a good story. Through personal perseverance and determination and a very heavy gas pedal, Elsie became one of the first women from the Vegreville Ukrainian community to be accepted into university. She received a Bachelor of Science degree in home economics from the University of Manitoba. Elsie loved to teach, and she became a home economist for the Alberta government, for whom she traveled extensively throughout East Central Alberta. As Mike and Elsie's family of 5 children grew, Elsie increased her volunteer activities in the community, serving on countless organizational boards in a variety of positions. I personally remember working with her in the Alberta Ukrainian Dance Association, in the Minister's Advisory Board for the Ukrainian Cultural Heritage Village. I remember her participation in a korovai baking workshop organized by Dr. Natalie Kononenko. Elsie Kawulych is a leader who has made a lasting contribution to the Ukrainian community, and I would say to the general citizenship in Alberta.
I honor you today as a prolific volunteer who's received numerous awards for your contribution to so many community and cultural initiatives. So, Elsie Kawulych, got to get it right, is on record as crediting her dedication to volunteerism to 2 people. The first of these is her mother, who set an example helping neighbors and volunteering in her community as a way to show her appreciation for coming to Canada. She saw Canada as a place where people were free and could accomplish anything. Her people worked hard to enhance their education and life as good citizens. The second person who inspired Elsie to volunteerism was the dean of her university, the University of Alberta, the Faculty of Home Economics, who was a devoted professor, encouraging her class to teach others whatever they had learned. She told her students not to keep their knowledge to themselves, because then that knowledge dies. Elsie took that advice to heart and has always tried to act on it. Elsie's volunteering accomplishments included her contributions to educational and recreational organizations for Alberta youth. She served as a 4-H leader and judge, and volunteered with Boy Scouts, Girl Guides, and Air Cadets, the Alberta Folk Arts Council, and others. Elsie Kawulych has been recognized for her public speaking at many events, including one in Quebec as a Western Canada representative at a national unity mission. Elsie has been a long-standing volunteer for the Canadian Cancer Society, serving as a provincial board member. She's a tireless contributor to community support in her hometown of Vegreville, for example, sitting on the Vegreville Senior Housing Board, as she does to this day. She's famously dedicated to her heritage, endlessly working to promote Ukrainian culture and keep it alive. Her volunteerism is expressed through her work with the Ukrainian Catholic Women's League, Ukrainian dance, as we heard, Ukrainian language organizations, the Vegreville Pisanka Festival, and the Ukrainian Cultural Heritage Village.
And what a great honor it is for me to have been chosen as a recipient of the Order of Canada. Without the support, of any family, I never would have accomplished this. Coming from a different background and religious background, and growing up in a small community, life was one challenge after another. And I think Dean McCormick said that. There were many hurdles to overcome. Each hurdle gave me more determination to keep going forward. My parents were very supportive. They instilled in their children the idea that one must help one another. I can remember one of our neighbors going out of their way to help me as a child and ensure that I would be accepted to brownies. Remember, many years ago, if you were another ethnic group, you were not allowed to be a brownie or a guide or a scout or something. So there were many hurdles. This taught me that you must always help others wherever possible. Growing up that way led me into the path of volunteering. When I graduated from the university, the dean said, and this is a repeat, "What you have learned must not be forgotten. Teach others, or your education has been gained in vain." And I've tried to live up to that. I remember this one little girl in our 4-H club, too shy to even say her name. Yet in 5 years, she was off to university. And what a great public speaker she became. She could never thank me enough for helping her. How proud I was to have been a part of her life. Determination was one of the keys to my volunteering. Having a family of 5 children, ranging in age from kindergarten to high school, kept me very busy. There were many days of overlapping schedules with the children, as Mom went off to meetings or trainings, growing and learning along the way to help the community become a better place to live. As the children grew up, I was involved in many of their activities. For some, I had to travel to Edmonton and take classes so I could teach the parents later that evening. In Ukrainian dance especially, costumes were difficult and different, and each involved many hours of work. I even brought fabrics and accessories while away on winter vacations, many suitcases full of them. Even though people may look at all of this volunteering as a lot of hard work, I can say that it brought me a lot of enjoyment, and I met many very interesting people along the way. And it was a way for me to say thank you to all of the people who in some way helped me and throughout my lifetime. Because without their assistance, I would not be standing here before you today. Once again, thank you for hosting the luncheon.